in Baltimore. There to call all the action. We welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It was Denzel Ward in from his corner spot there to take him down for the loss. Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Well, there was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Here's Jackson. And this is incomplete. Denzel Ward right there in coverage to get the hand in. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5 now. Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Mayfield looks to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all. Come on, let's go!
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Throwing. edge. You love to have cornerbacks like that can bring them down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
The kick by Joseph is good, and that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
6-0 our score after one. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson now, dancing to his left. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, but now it's 3rd and goal. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. This is caught. A great open field tackle is going to stop him shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and it'll be a turnover on downs. The Browns drive about to get started. And their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. It's complete to Snead. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Here's Jackson to throw. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Seth Roberts there to make the grab as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. CD, while we have a quick second here, I want to give a shout-out to 3 teams who have struggled mightily this year, who all got wins in Week 12. The Dolphins, the Redskins, and for their first win of the season, the Bengals.
How about you? I love your empathy, right? You hate to see teams struggle like this. Hate to see teams that are down. And when they get wins, you come with a little bounce, don't you? You got a little extra spring in your step. Those Bengals. And they beat the Jets, who at the time were hot, right? They won 3 in a row. How about Washington? That win over Carolina. And then, of course, the Dolphins. No one really saw that coming. Their win over Philadelphia, even though it was at home. Could those wins for those teams be the death knell for the teams that lost? The Jets, we're not going to talk about them anymore. Carolina, they still thought maybe a late run could put them in the playoff race in the NFC South.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. CD, with that incompletion, let's look at some of the big games Week 13. So these are ones that our crew probably think are the biggest 4. Let's rank them 1 to 4 as far as how big they are and what they mean. Baltimore at Buffalo, San Fran at New Orleans, KC at New England, Seattle at the Rams. How would you rank those? What do you think?
Well, this is going to sound self-serving since I'm working San Francisco and New Orleans, but to me that's the #1 game because the #1 seed in the NFC will be determined that week for that moment. Okay, the winner of that becomes the #1 seed. I think the #2 game, Seattle at the Rams, because Seattle's trying to maintain pace with San Francisco or become the #1 team in the NFC West. And the Rams have to have it if they have any designs on making the playoffs. The #3 game, Baltimore at Buffalo. Buffalo's announced its presence. That big win on Thanksgiving Day over Dallas. But Baltimore's the hottest team, the best team in the league over the last 8 weeks. And then you finish up Kansas City, New England. How is that the #4 game?
I know.
Hard to believe, but it is in this state, in this instance.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Sliding out of the pocket. And that will be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. On 4th down, Jackson. And that is going to be incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this Browns defense stands tall. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempt. Now Mayfield lost the football. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. So we're at halftime with our score. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. A gutsy call there. You exit the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They're already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level. And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional.
And got his man complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Willie Snead, 81 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Mayfield off the play fake. That's out to Chubb, complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Mayfield. Johnson's got it complete. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Jones on the return. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jannard Avery, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. To try again after the sack. Jackson, Snead's got it. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Jackson, flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Now, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Myles Garrett able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. The Ravens on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Escaping the pressure right. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Seth Roberts. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as the Ravens push further out in front. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Here's Mayfield. Screen play. Johnson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield.
You know, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
They'll run for it. Chubb, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Mayfield on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. The first down screen pass, good for 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield with it once more. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Mayfield on play action. 20! And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 19. Mayfield looks to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. A well-executed safety blitz by Tony Jefferson leads to the sack.
The amount of sacks.
And he's going to go down again. Matt Judon, his 2nd sack of the night. Mayfield to throw it.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Ingram again. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Check. 53's the money. 53. Check 53. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And that will write a finish to this ball game.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. One last shot from Mayfield here. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there.